Good evening, my foreign friends. I am Lino. Valentine's Day. In most countries, that means flowers, chocolate, maybe a nice dinner. In China, for many men, it feels like an audit. Not of your feelings, of your finances. Before you can even talk about love, there's an invisible checklist. Do you own an apartment? Do you have a stable government job? How much do you make per month? Can you afford a wedding? Can you afford children? If the answer is no, then love becomes a risk. And risk is dangerous in a society where failure is expensive. In China, Valentine's Day is not only one day. We have February 14th. We also have 520 Day on May 20th, because 520 sounds like I love you in Chinese. And we have Qixi Festival, the traditional Chinese Valentine's Day. That means at least 3 romantic exams every year. And every time there is pressure. In major Chinese cities, an apartment can cost 20 to 30 times a young man's annual income. Think about that. Not 3 times. Not 5 times. 30. That's not a home. That's a lifetime sentence. And yet, property ownership is still seen as the minimum requirement for marriage. So when people ask why China's marriage rate keeps falling to record lows, maybe the answer is not young people don't believe in love. Maybe the answer is simpler. Love has become unaffordable. We don't talk about this enough. In China, traditional gender expectations are still strong. The man should provide. The man should buy the house. The man should carry the financial burden. At the same time, the economy is slowing down. Youth unemployment has been high. Salaries are stagnant. Competition is brutal. You're told to be ambitious. But the ladder is getting steeper every year. And then Valentine's Day arrives. Social media explodes with luxury gifts, 5-star hotel surprises, designer bags, diamond rings. You scroll, and you realize romance has turned into performance. If you spend more, you love more. If you hesitate, maybe you don't love enough. It becomes a public ranking system. And if you cannot compete, you quietly step out. Some men are not avoiding relationships because they hate women. They are avoiding relationships because they are tired of being evaluated like investment projects. What's your salary growth rate? What assets do you have? What's your 5-year financial projection? Love starts to sound like a startup pitch. Meanwhile, birth rates are collapsing. Marriage registrations are hitting historic lows. And policymakers ask, why aren't young people settling down? But here's a harder question. How can you expect people to commit to marriage when basic housing feels unreachable? How can you encourage romance when survival already feels expensive? In some Western countries, couples often split rent. They share financial pressure. Independence is normal. In China, we are in an awkward transition. Modern economy, traditional expectations, sky-high property prices, and a dating culture amplified by social media comparison. That combination creates fear, not fear of love, fear of failing at love. And when fear becomes stronger than desire, people withdraw. Valentine's Day then becomes symbolic, not of affection, but of a widening gap between emotional expectations and economic reality. Maybe this is uncomfortable to hear. Maybe some people will say this is exaggeration. But look at the numbers. Fewer marriages, fewer children, more young people choosing to stay single. That's not random. That's structural. So when you see a Chinese man not excited about Valentine's Day, don't assume he is cold or unromantic. Maybe he's calculating mortgage rates. Maybe he's comparing his income to housing prices. Maybe he's wondering whether he can afford to promise forever. Because in today's China, forever comes with a down payment. And until that changes, Valentine's Day will feel less like a celebration of love and more like a reminder of the bill. Now I want to ask you, is love becoming a luxury in your country too? Or is this uniquely Chinese? Let's talk about it.